Welcome to Non-Productive, the only podcast to survive 2020. Spoiler alert. Yee. I'm Frank, and I'm joined in studio by your co-hosts, Matt, Pete, and Michelle. Today we're going to be talking about coughing, and we're also going to be talking about...
Covering your cough.
Covering your cough. Oh, yeah, he did.
I did.
With your sleeve, not your hand.
I'm not going to come in physical contact with anyone.
I'm really glad that
That's fair.
he did cough. Pete did cough, because this is the whole intro is going to be Pete's cough. Because we also have a thing we forgot to talk about in pre-production. Your article, we're going to be talking about the coronavirus. We're going to be talking about Pokemon, which is not... Coronavirus is not a next-gen Pokemon, just in case you're wondering.
Oh, that'd be really neat, though.
Spoiler alert. We're talking about
coronavirus. I choose you.
Amazing movies.
Use pneumonia. It's super effective.
Video game stuff and animated TV shows. It's going to be a blast. Sit back and enjoy. All right, first up, randomly. You know what? I'm going to pick this because it's probably the oldest thing. That's not entirely true, but one of the oldest things on our list is Knives Out. I went to see it finally. Bing, bing. I did, and it was amazing.
Yes.
Did anyone here actually see it other than Matt?
No.
I haven't.
Yeah, Matt, you did. I don't know if we should do the politics of why. You wanted to see it.
I wanted to see it. Yes, I saw it after should I say it?
Yeah, why not?
I saw it after I saw The Rise of Skywalker because I really, well, we're past it. We already had our Rise of Skywalker discussion. I needed a palate cleanser, so I went to see it literally the next day.
I wanted to see it almost immediately. I was like, not even immediately. We talked about this on the trailer on, I think, a trailer dump, and we also talked about it in the fan club on facebook.com/group/nonpro. It was, I don't know why it took me this long. I guess life got in the way. It was amazing. What did you think, Matt?
I thought it was, I agree with you. I thought it was absolutely amazing, and I thought it was a really clever way to do a mystery.
Mm-hmm. No spoilers.
No spoilers, but
yeah.
kind of like in the Rian Johnson way, expectations were subverted.
Yeah, it was stellar cast, beautiful direction and cinematography.
Yes,
the sets, the props, the dialogue is fresh. It's both like classic mystery and also like a modern mystery. Just absolutely cannot recommend it higher. I don't know. Are either of you two in the room going to see it now based on our recommendations? 50% of the people in the room think it's the most.
I was already going to.
Okay.
I'll probably see it when it's not in theaters.
Okay.
So
is that a cheapness?
It's just I don't like going to movie theaters unless I have to. I feel like I'm not going to get spoiled by like anything on the internet about it like I would with Star Wars.
True. I'm going to call that a cheapness.
Well, it's okay, half and half.
We're going to raise money, send Michelle to a movie. And then
become a Patreon today. It's a new level.
100% at the $100 level, she will read you an audiobook, and then you will send her to a movie.
I will read an audiobook
of the movie she's going to go see. Also, this is not like a call to action for a date or anything. That's creepy. If anybody's
she's
like,
not going with you.
Yeah, you're not going to go to a movie with her. No. It's your call. You can do what we should be. Michelle, that's your call.
Well, like if Katie bought it, I'd go to the movies with her.
Well, who wouldn't? Katie is a stone cold.
But
boss.
James, no, not him. He sucks.
Wow. James is a stone cold drag.
All right, I was going to volunteer to go to the movie with whoever pledged $100, but then you brought up the fact that James might be the one. So.
Yeah, no, it's not a good look.
No.
But yeah, definitely get a chance. I will say this. Weirdly, I saw like a week ago, time of the recording, which is in February, and it was still a packed house.
Really?
Wow.
Yeah, so I didn't see it on a discount night or anything, but I would. So I really enjoyed it with a group of people because the laughs all happened at the same time, and the cheers and the gasps all happened at the same time. The applause at the end of the movie. Oh, I'm not overselling it, but there was an applause.
I hate it when people clap, though.
It's not an airplane landing, Michelle. It's an art form.
I don't know. People clapped when I saw Rise of Skywalker, and I'm like, can you just stop it? And
they were just glad it was over.
Yeah.
Oh wow! All right,
I liked the movie.
You did like Rise of Skywalker, and you could have.
I have a question for you too.
Yes.
You say that it subverts expectations. But I have to ask you, if my expectations of a mystery movie are based solely on Murder by Death and Clue,
I think it subverts Clue. I would say.
Oh, Clue was amazing.
Yeah. I think
It subverts like the genre, really.
yeah, and it complements those two movies.
Yes,
you
it
picked.
really does.
Definitely Clue more than Murder by Death, which was a little ridiculous. That's actually a good point. I don't know if
You think Murder by Death was more ridiculous than Clue?
I do. I think there was a talking stuffed animal in Murder by an animal that was stuffed on the wall. All right. So, anybody have a favorite mystery movie? Stupid way to bring it up. A favorite mystery movie you want to suggest?
Clue.
Clue. Yeah.
Murder
Clue
by
wins.
Death and Clue.
Okay. Other than those two amazing ones.
I mean, I really love Brick, which is another Rian Johnson mystery.
Oh, really? All right.
Yeah, so
I'm gonna watch Brick.
that's more like noir. Oh,
Okay.
it's very much noir
Yeah.
style, and also, funnily enough, very connected to anime.
Oh.
When if you're a fan of anime, you'll see when you watch it. But I mean, we'll probably if people are watching it and when we have a discussion, I'll definitely bring it up because it's really fascinating.
So we got 4 recommendations for you people: Clue, Murder by Death.
I'm trying to
Knives
remember
Out,
if
and
there's
Brick.
any movies, mystery movies I can remember.
Michelle.
I have a non-recommendation.
Oh, all right. Yeah, please.
Murder mystery on Netflix with Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh my God, Murder.
It's
Night?
just
Was
called
it
Murder. I think it's just called
Murder
Murder
Mystery.
Mystery. It's just called Murder Mystery.
Is that the one where they're on a boat? For
Yeah,
part? Oh, I
yeah.
saw
She gets like invited by like some rich man and his
Yeah.
wife, and then the rich man gets killed.
What's that movie with Redford and Demi
Oh,
Moore?
the game? Well, no. That was- no.
Indecent Proposal?
Indecent Proposal. So it's like a comedy version of Indecent Proposal by people who don't want to be there.
That's also a murder mystery.
It's also vaguely a murder mystery. I remember seeing either all of that or part of that, and I can't remember how it had. No, I saw the entire thing. So I do need recommendations, which we won't do now, but of movies you can watch with parents who are mostly checked out, because that's a genre.
I feel
need.
like that's most 80s movies.
Yeah, most 80s movies, but if they want to
Most
see
Adam
something
Sandler
new,
movies.
exactly, it's movies where it's like I don't have to worry about this too much, except for the sexual content of a Adam Sandler's movie. It's Adam Sandler movie. There might be something lewd.
Some of them.
Yeah, not much though. But it's
Blended
there.
wasn't too bad.
Yeah, it's hard to say. He's all over the place.
Did
He's
they
trying to be an
ever?
auteur.
Did they ever make a movie version of The Dangerous Game? The guy that hunts people.
Yes.
Well,
Is
there's
that coming out soon? Is that in my head for some reason?
Another one.
another one? I mean,
Something.
I remember there was The Pest, which was like
Yeah.
the comedy take on it.
There definitely was
Do we mean the most dangerous game?
Yeah.
yeah, there was one that starred crap. I'm Ice-T.
Oh.
I'm almost positive it's Ice-T and not Ice Cube. That's just a name similarity problem for me. I know they're different actors, but it was an Ice-T or Ice Cube. It was Ice-T. I think it was 100% was Ice-T. Yeah, there was one with him in it. I can't remember who.
Was he the hunter or the hunted?
hunted? Yeah,
Interesting.
No.
it was. It was a movie to watch.
Oh, man.
All right, so there you go. You have recommendations for movies to watch. Next up,
You want a mystery recommendation?
Yes.
Arsenic and Old Lace.
all right, good. Yeah, classic. Yes.
Very classic.
Next up, I lied. The oldest thing on the list is really Flashpoint. Let's talk about Flashpoint for a minute.
Yes.
Not the comic. Totally forgot.
Flashpoint is a project that's going on. It's an archival project of old like Flash games, which if depending on who's listening, if you're kind of like my generation, you grew up on Flash games. Like
Yeah.
they were the perfect companion when you were trying to do work in college. But like, no, let's play some clicker games.
Newgrounds.
Oh my god! Where I try to, I felt like I was being mature when I watched animations of poop and sex jokes.
Yeah, no,
And I
that's
thought it was
still
the
that's
greatest
still
thing.
Yeah, that's still basically Newgrounds. Yeah, so this is important. I mean, digital archaeology
Yeah.
is something that we kind of overlook because it seems so ephemeral and stupid, but this is entire decades worth of, or at least a decade's worth of material that helped build the internet that we know of now that I think it's worth preserving. And that's really cool that someone's going around and doing all this.
Like they're up to, I think it's either 33,000 games already.
Wow.
Of different varieties. They also are collecting animations, so of like little like movies and whatnot. So like if you have a favorite, most likely than not, then it's going to be on the list. I mean, I had a few which I thought were pretty obscure, and that's part of the list.
Oh, wow. Nice.
Yeah. One of the probably the biggest names. I think they have the old candy stand. That was like Nabisco and maybe some other like confectionery companies. They did like had the whole entire like kids website with like mini golf and baseball.
man.
And, like that was really big. I think they like saved a bunch of those games.
I forgot about corporate sponsored ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, when you think about there was a time when MST3K had their own, that was like the darkest period of MST3K. I'm sure nobody wants to save that. They had their own little flash snippet cartoons that were made. Obviously, infamously, is the entire Space Jam's website, which is still accessible.
Live.
Yeah. Did you know that, Michelle? Do you know that the Space Jam website is still
Yes.
something you could go to?
Yes,
now
I was
and
aware of
use?
that.
All right. There was one other was even worse. I can't. Zootopia.
Zootopia wouldn't be that
No,
bad.
no,
It's not that.
Zootopia is recent. Zoomaroo? There was some like PBS show.
Zuboomafu?
Oh, Zaboomafoo.
Yeah.
The thing with the lemur.
Yeah, that guy. I saw
Or as I
somebody.
used to call it, Zobomofo.
Yes, that site's still up, and apparently it's even worse than Space Jam. We got to do a
Wow.
playthrough of it one day. But yeah, these things are also, besides the stupid things I just said.
I hope they've archived Trogdor.
Trogdor.
I think Homestar Runner is archived there.
Wow,
I mean,
all of
Homestar-
it?
I'm at least some of
Wow.
I think Strong Bad Emails at least. I mean, like Homestar Runner is still like standalone site as well,
Yeah.
but it's good to have a backup.
Because slowly those Homestar Runner email things, the Strong Bad emails, are being put on their YouTube page
Yeah.
for them, but they're not all of them. So like it's very weird what
And
they're
it's-
choosing to archive, what even the original creators are choosing to archive in these things. It's
Well, I
good to see
understand. I
somebody
can
else doing
understand that. That's a difficult thing to put on YouTube because the Homestar Runner page, all of the stuff, was very rooted in that medium.
it. In
It's like
Flash,
you didn't
yeah.
just watch the Strong Bad emails. You could hit
Yeah,
the
you
hit the
had lots of
computer, and
clickable
there were
things.
lots of little hidden things
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
that
right.
you just can't replicate on YouTube.
Yeah.
Interesting. So yeah, I'm glad that they're archiving this. Semi-related is I think last week someone found the original source code for Zork, which had been presumed
Wow.
lost for years. Now you could play Zork anywhere, right? There's a million different emulators that do it, but the code, the actual original code, had been presumed lost, and an archival group found it and published it. I think on GitHub, it's available now.
Wow.
There's a couple other things too. So yeah, so much our digital
Why am I-
archive it's worth it.
Why am I flashing to
Yeah,
Zipper?
Zipper.
Did I get the name wrong? From Gravity Falls?
Dipper?
Dipper. Oh my God.
Wow.
Dipper.
Uh-huh.
With the wow.
He has
this
a-
is worthless.
He has a constellation on his forehead, not a zipper.
Although in Pete's
I
knockoff
was gonna
version,
say, do you want to know? I was honestly picturing him with a baseball cap that had a zipper
A
on the
zipper,
front.
really?
Just in my mind right now.
that's interesting. If you know what's wrong with Pete, if you could diagnose this problem, send us an email at what do we even have an email?
Non-dash
Wow.
production.
All right, cool. Yeah, send us an email. Non-productive.
Non-dash
at
pro.
non-productive.com or whatever. Sure. Or tweet us at the Twitters.
Or really, if you're watching this on Twitch, you can just DM us.
Yeah, you can. You could put something in the chat. Let's list
I
every
promise.
way you
I
could.
promise we're monitoring it.
Oh God, that is a promise we cannot be good for.
Oh,
All right,
do you want me to get political?
No.
no, not yet. We might.
yet.
No.
Eventually.
Next,
I could get political about promises,
So
ironclad promises.
Let's move on to a big topic before. Actually, you know what? Let's go on to a big release coming out. We talked about ancient games. New game, Pokemon MD. So this is a Pokemon Doctor game. I did not write down the full word you said, so I wrote MD.
And you don't
Mystery
remember what
Dentist.
they
And I
are?
think it's no.
You
I
know
want it
what?
to be Doctor Pokemon.
I think that would be a great game. And you got to play
I
as
know.
Nurse Joy or something.
Oh my God!
Yeah,
It's
And you
Pokemon
just take
Nurse
care.
Joy. Give her title credit.
Yeah, I love that.
I think that'd be
Oh
good.
my
well,
God!
it'd be very boring. You just put it in like a little machine and it goes
Beep,
like ding
beep,
after a
beep,
second.
beep.
What you got to do is you got to like put a bunch of germs, and it's like Dr. Mario, but it's with Nurse Joy. So that's how she does it. She just matches.
Way
it's
to
Candy Crush.
minimize Nurse Joy's contribution to the medical field.
All right. So yes, tell
Oh,
us
it takes. She's got to hit a couple
about
buttons.
Pokemon
Fine.
Mystic Dungeon. I
It's
remembered it.
Mystery Dungeon.
Damn it.
We just talked about mystery movies. It's a
I will-
mystery game.
So like this whole thing is
Come on,
gonna
like
wrap
how you're
together.
Team Mystery in Pokemon Go.
You know what?
Wait,
It's Team
Mystery
Mystic.
Dungeon sounds a little sexy.
Oh, maybe
Tell me
Frank's
about
not
it.
as dumb as we all thought. then.
No, I am.
So, Pokemon Mystery Dungeon. They've made Mystery Dungeon versions for the Pokemon games in the past. This is the first time they're doing it in like a while, because there was Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Red and Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Blue, and then they re-released somewhere in the mid-aughts. So now they're doing a new one that I don't know if it's not really companioning with Sword and Shield. It's just, hey, we realize we can still make a lot of money on this franchise. Here's another game that's going to cost $60. But there is a demo available right now if you have a Switch that you can play for free. And
Really?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, there's a demo. My one friend has been like aggressively pushing it on everyone we know, so now I'm doing it too. Mm-hmm. So please play it because it's really quite adorable. So
I'll
you
play
get to play as a Pokemon. You take a little quiz in the beginning, and I'm a Charmander.
I really want to know what Pokemon I am.
But it's only out of like
I've always thought that the BuzzFeed articles were biased.
they are. But there's only like a select few that you can play as because it's only got like, you know, the digital graphics of like 20 different Pokemon. So, but like my friend got it Skitty and he was really mad and redid the quiz. So,
Oh wow!
then
Frank
you
got
get to
sorted
pick.
into Bulbasaur.
Yeah. So you get to pick another like fellow companion Pokemon, but you're human. I'm doing air quotes that no one can see. You're like a human, but you're in a Pokemon body, and you just got to solve little mysteries and save.
What does that mean?
I don't
What
know.
does human in a Pokemon body
So
mean?
you wake up and you're suddenly a Pokemon, but all of your memories are of being a human.
So this is
Oh.
Pokemon body horror.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is Pokemon Kafka dungeon.
Now I know where the dungeon part comes in.
Ooh.
Wow, this is disturbing. I like it.
From what I understand, like I've watched like Let's Plays of the old games. And the weirdest thing is like the Pokemon, they don't speak in like their name or anything or any sounds. They actually have like dialogue and text. And
I hope
is
Ryan
very
Reynolds
odd.
is playing it as well. That's a.
Oh, that'd be great. He better be a Pikachu.
Yeah.
What if he takes the quiz and he gets something else? Like
think
something
they-
lame.
They're gonna have to remake. The
I
movie.
think it would be
Like
better
Skitty.
I think it would be better if all Pokemon spoken in the exact same voice.
all
Ryan
Ryan
Reynolds?
Reynolds. They were all Ryan Reynolds.
I mean, I'm for it. Yeah, sure. Let's make that fanfic happen. Speaking of fanfic, this is not a good segue. Wrestling. Anything good happening in wrestling?
Wrestling has been really, it's been kind of wild. Like with the rise of like all elite wrestling, that's been going great. I think
AEW. AEW.
Like these are
it's-
whole new companies.
Yeah,
They're
whole
not-
new companies
yeah.
to compete, like competing with WWE. Like there used to be like the Monday Night Wars between like WCW and WWE. Now it's the Wednesday Night Wars when it's AEW Dynamite, which is their main show, and WWE's NXT, which is kind of like their hot new brand that's supposed to be like appealing to like the younger demographics.
Which is amazing because it used to be their farm team.
Yeah.
Actually, it used to be a game show.
Yeah, it used to
Really?
be like it used to be a segment on like SmackDown.
Yeah.
I'm liking this. Okay.
and
But they
yeah,
eventually turned it into a third brand.
a third brand pretty much. And,
And it's because they started out not on broadcast TV. They were on WWE Network. Mm-hmm. And they were seen as lower risk. So
they could do more.
they could do more.
Got
They
it.
had more
That's pretty
flexibility,
cool.
more freedom.
Nice.
And it got a huge following.
right. And so yeah, and then like once AEW started, like WWE thought like, okay, we should have something to compete with them, but they're really not competitors because like WWE will never admit that another company is a competitor.
Right.
No.
But but now that's why they push NXT to try to be on television on Wednesdays, which is when they were originally showing it, and so like
But just now on
Yeah,
now on network television.
network TV.
I got it. So someone who's a little confused by acronym soup and who like really wants to get back into wrestling, which do you suggest for me? Michelle.
AEW is going to be a lot easier to follow probably since it's newer, because if you go and just turn on WWE and it's
Not
like
good, yeah.
there's history with everybody.
Yeah,
That
and
goes back to before I was born.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I'd say if you just want to watch like matches or whatever, like you could probably watch either show. I would say honestly NXT, like it has the money and the production values behind it. So And like AEW is still trying to like get its footing, trying to like figure out like get all like the bugs out and like the wrinkles out of the system. But I mean, like AEW like is new. It's trying to promote a lot of like newer people that aren't familiar. It's very much at a ground level currently. So if you jump in now, like it's not hard to catch up.
All right.
If you like crazy personalities,
I was about to say.
AEW's
Yes.
probably the way to go. NXT, you've got Lando Calrissian meets Prince in the Velveteen Dream.
Writing that down.
You'd probably enjoy him. On AEW, Luchasaurus.
Yeah, who's like this huge guy who pretends he's a dinosaur.
What?
And he's teaming up, and he's in a tag team with Jungle Boy, who's actually Jack Perry, Luke Perry's son.
Oh man,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
And it's essentially like Moon Boy and Devil Dinosaur.
Oh my god. All right. So let's wrap up the show so we can watch this. Very cool.
I'm a big fan of the Butcher and the Blade, but that's only because the one guy is also in a band.
What?
And he's like
Yeah.
he's
How
like
is that
40
bad?
he's like 46 or something like that, and
he's young.
And he decided a few years ago, after being in a heavy metal band for 20 years, that I'm just going to be an indie wrestler, and then he got signed with TNT. And he's like, well, this happened.
When you find me wrestling soon, in another week or two, you just talk about me the same way. Like, I don't know what happened to Frank. He just decided he wanted to be a
But,
wrestler.
like, it's just so wild. He's like, well, I'm just going to start being a pro wrestler.
Is that the guy that looks like Teddy Roosevelt?
Yes.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
he looks like
Yeah.
Teddy. He has a monocle.
Wow.
He does.
Nice.
Yeah, Andy.
Nice. I love all of this. All right.
No,
Excellent.
that didn't work out
So,
too well for
I
the
saw him
Vaudevillains.
wrestle before he was, or like right when he got signed.
Yeah, he was like I know they were a team on like the indie scene, and yeah,
That's
I
pretty
saw a
I
cool.
want
couple
that type of like confidence in myself that I'm just gonna pick up some very obscure hobby and just freaking go with it.
Well, I mean, you kind of branched into it this week. You just published an article on Non-Productive.com
Yes.
about
About
Plague
my
Inc.
career.
about your career
Hold up.
across the streams.
Frank, that segue was way too good.
Yeah.
I think we got to back that up.
All right, let's try to do this. Well, speaking of wrestling, I've been wrestling with the topic, how do we segue into Michelle's article on non-productive.com? Hey,
But make sure
yes.
you follow us on Non-Pro on Instagram.
Yeah, that's the one. But anyways, so you wrote an article about, take it away. Plague
About
Inc.
coronavirus, and to be more specific, about 2019 nCoV, which is a type of coronavirus.
That's still not very exciting.
So-
to be even more specific,
It's the-
how Plague Inc., the video game, interacts or teaches us things
So,
about it. Yeah.
the game Plague Inc., which...
I'm basically trying to talk back the audience right now. They're like, science! And they're
Science?
throwing their iPhones out the
Don't
window.
throw science away, guys.
It's really the lesson here, so do not throw science away.
Please
We
don't,
cannot
because science
stress
is
that.
our friend.
The lesson is
Please.
move to Madagascar.
Actually, no, not even that.
Oh,
If anything, go to like Greenland or Iceland. Virus and most bacteria have not as a good chance to live in a
in
cold
very
climate.
Cold, that's
But
a
if
good
they
point.
shut down the airports and the ocean freight, then there's no way to get there.
Yeah.
To where?
And
Madagascar?
they do that immediately.
Yeah, but like if you're already sick, why are we doing this? Or if like there's something that's going to jump from an animal, why are we doing
Did
this?
anybody even play the game?
Yes.
Okay.
Excessively. Way too many times.
I'm assuming this is Madagascar
I
to
don't. It's
Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah.
The video game.
I don't know. I've
The
never had a
Flash game?
problem infecting Madagascar.
Oh, so
So
give us a
what
little
is-
background on
yeah.
what's happening. Yeah.
So a little background on what's happening. Plague Inc. is a game that is available as a mobile app, but is also a console-based game on Steam, pretty much where you get to make a disease and try and infect the world. So,
all right, and you did that.
and I
You-
did that.
You created.
I created the non-pro virus, even though it should have been the non-pro virus.
Yes, we got letters from
my
corporate.
bad, everybody. I'm not getting paid for this.
Yeah.
And I gave it similar symptoms to the current outbreak that we are seeing in China, and pretty much said, okay, here we go. Let's see what happens.
And you ran at least three
I ran three
scenarios,
different
right?
scenarios. I ran one scenario in which, like, people kind of took care of themselves and, like, kind of went to the doctor and, like, kind of washed their hands. And, like, that one,
Well, don't give any spoilers.
no
Let them read the
spoilers.
article.
Then I did another one that was like everyone compulsively washes their hands and doctors never go home. Which is basically the equivalent of being able to go to an emergency room or an urgent care center at any time of the day, which in the...
So not America.
Yeah, whoa!
Yeah, hospitals are 24/7.
Oh,
Yeah, it depends
you may be
on it.
online
It depends
for
on
3
it.
days,
Yeah,
but
that's true.
okay.
That's true.
And then one more where...
And then another one where I ran a scenario about fake news and saw how infectious fake news could be.
It was really, really, really interesting. Read the article. It's definitely worth it.
Yeah.
I'm excited that we're publishing this important information about video games and or maybe the virus that will destroy mankind. Probably not.
Probably not.
But yes.
So
wash your
important
hands.
to know that the flu virus is a current more big concern science words to you than anything else right now, really.
And get that vaccine.
So at this point, it's a little too late. You should have done it in like September, but like wash your hands and like don't go anywhere if you're sick.
Right. Speaking of
And
not going anywhere. Sorry.
Yeah, also to not go anywhere, I can loop us back and explain my Madagascar thing.
Oh, God.
Because apparently I have never played Plague Inc. I have played its a Flash game predecessor, Pandemic,
Okay.
where Madagascar functions about the same as Greenland.
Okay. All right. That makes sense then.
Interesting.
Madagascar is like super skittish. You can only get there by airport and boat. And as soon as there's like the hint of something going on, they shut everything down. Damn near
Just
impossible.
like our government. Topical, not really. But speaking of our government, Thundercats Roar. We're not doing this anymore. Thundercats Roar. It's out. It's on
Cartoon
Network, yes.
.com.
Yeah. And we actually watched. I know everyone in this room at least watched Thundercats Roar premiere part 1.
Part 1, yes.
And I think you've seen part 2 as well.
I have seen part 2.
We'll focus
Have
on
you?
part 1. I have not yet.
No, I'm the only one in the room that has that.
Yeah, no spoilers, I guess, for part 2. But this is. I don't even know if this is a thing you can spoil. So, children's out there listening, Thundercats was a cartoon show when I was a kid. It was one of those toy commercials you heard so much about that lasted a half hour long, had like really ripped, muscular dudes in cat suits, because that's cool. And it was kind of like a He-Man thing. It was a little bit of sword and sorcery, much more
Little bit-
sci-fi.
yeah.
Yeah.
And it was much darker than He-Man and more serious. It had
Yeah.
a very serious tone.
Yeah, at least that's what I picked up on as a kid.
Yeah.
And this
It was like the Hamlet of 80s TV commercial cartoons.
in that somebody was a king and was haunted by the ghost of his predecessor, but not haunted in a totally
Haunted by the
negative
ghost
way.
of his father.
His father, yeah, predecessor also. And yeah, so whatever. It's the one with Mum-Ra. You've probably seen memes of it over the years.
Why didn't you get electrocuted?
Who get electrocuted?
You.
Oh, because I said Mum-Ra. Haha, references. So this thing, this Hanna-Barbera, no, I'm sorry, this Cartoon Network version, that's the second attempt to reboot it. There was an attempt, I think, in 2011 or so to reboot it, and this is
Yeah, I
the
think
second
it was in
attempt.
the mid-aughties.
This is much more cartoony in style. It is, I guess, beanhead animation is a way of referring. I'll be honest. There is because it's the 21st century and everything is terrible. There are lots of internet controversies about certain language you should use to refer to your dislike or like of a certain thing. One of the slurs that are out there, I didn't even know it was a slur at the time, Cal Art style.
Oh, yeah.
Have you heard that?
That's a
the
whole
controversy?
entire thing with
if,
that.
If Al were here, he'd be able to lead us through this a little bit more. We're not going to try to delve into any of that stuff, but it's very distinct beanhead style. Many characters' heads look like beans and their mouths look like beans. That's the way it looks like Chowder. It looks a little bit like
Gumball?
Gumball. A little.
Sort of
Well,
Steven
Gumball's all over the
Universe.
place, but a little bit like Steven Universe. There's a highly cartoony version of the characters. They're not the buff, masculine sort of attempt to be realistic body types from the 80s cartoon. And there's some controversy about that as well. Well, we finally saw the episode, and we want to talk about it. Yeah, Michelle.
Could you go back to the style you just mentioned? cow art? Because Google just keeps showing me
Not
pictures.
cow arts, although yes.
Because
Can we
I
just
Googled
leave-
it, and it was just a lot of Etsy shops with cows.
You know what?
And I was trying to look it up as a reference because I
I'm
didn't know what you were talking about.
100% on board with you believing that, and that we use that term for the rest of the world. But it's Cal Arts, as in the California Institute of Art, which is a big, very influential animation school. So one little aside from the terminology. I understand how all the art style looks a lot alike in that particular genre or whatever it is. But from watching one video on Frederator's YouTube page, Frederator is an awesome channel and an awesome production company. They did Fairly Odd Parents and a bunch of other stuff. Apparently, like CalArts had been used as for lack of a better term, a slur since the 90s, and it hasn't meant the same thing throughout time. Like, it always changes what it means.
It's literally just, it's style I don't like.
Yeah, it's style I don't like, or popular style I don't like. But putting aside the edge on it, you could just say, I don't want a cartoony version of these characters, and I think that's a little bit more realistic, and that's what we're going to talk about here. So what do we think? How many of us were fans of the Thundercats, the original cartoon? I don't even know if Michelle or Matt watched it.
I feel like that was right after my time. Like,
Yeah,
right
it
after
would've
my
been.
time. Like, by the time I was there, it was like Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Yeah, I don't think Thundercats had a lot of longevity, unlike like Turtles or
It had
Transformers.
it had about 4 seasons.
And it didn't like Turtles and Transformers. Like almost immediately, there was another kind of it.
Yeah.
Right. There was like Beast Wars for Transformers, right?
Well, Transformers, there was a pretty good gap. But
There was a gap, but it
never really
definitely
left the
close.
zeitgeist.
Right. And Michelle said no, so it's just me and Pete.
I'm very young.
So yeah, I grew up. I loved that show. I remember running around in the playground, sort of omen singing my friends, and then running into walls. So like yes, deep into it. And I think we were both kind of on a similar page of I don't know about this at the start.
Yeah.
So what about it? How did you end up? Why were you wary of it, Pete?
I was wary because I really don't like the particular style they have. I could even deal with a cartoony version, just not this cartoony version, because there's a kind of humor that's usually associated with that kind of style that I don't think the subject matter lends itself to. Mm-hmm. And I also think that if you're trying to benefit of the doubt and they didn't want to do that kind of humor, I think it would have looked way out of place had they tried to render some other type of story in that style.
Can you give me a little bit of detail on what you mean by kind of humor? Just give me an example or something. I know we keep like we're very close to treading on some catchphrase that people are going to take umbrage with, but is there anything like
I'm not sure.
Like toilet humor or
it's
zany,
not quite
silly?
It's like zany, I guess.
Yeah,
like very ridiculous,
absurdist kind of. Yeah. All right, I get it. I think I get it.
If I could, like the wackiest elements of Teen Titans Go.
Okay, I kind of get what you. I think I get what you mean.
Teen Titans Go is like the most acceptable extreme. Mm-hmm. Like in my opinion, I don't know much that I can reference because I don't watch it.
Right, fair enough. You don't like the style, so you avoid it. I think I too, when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know if I want to. Like, what's the point of doing a known? I have a major problem with reboots, and when you do a reboot that's just like we're taking a reboot and we're changing everything about the property. Then I'm like, well, why are you rebooting it? Just do something new. Yeah. That would be more fine. Something about it that I didn't like the way it looked or felt. I was wary. I was like, I'll watch it, but this doesn't look like it's for me. I don't know if either of you two had any preconceived notions because you didn't really watch the original show. So this is before you saw it. Did you think anything in particular about it?
I mean, I saw the art style. It did remind me of Steven Universe, and so like I haven't watched Steven Universe mostly. So I really was kind of going in blind when I saw this episode, but I know it's kind of like I felt like it was going to be aimed at a younger crowd than me, so I wasn't sure if I would be something that I would be like interested in.
Right. Yeah. All right. Fair enough. So, Pete and I had a little bit of a resistance towards it, I think, at the beginning, and then there was, like, going in blind. You actually liked Steven Universe, Michelle, right?
Yes, I'm a big fan of Steven Universe, but
So-
I wasn't all that jazzed by the first episode of Thundercats.
All right, well, going right into the episode, I shockingly loved it. I really enjoyed it.
Wow.
Yeah. I did not think I would, but I really liked it.
Wow. So you just hated the original?
No, so you think that this craps on the original?
I think they're more than rather than parodying it. I think they're mocking it.
Interesting.
It's like, I find Lion-O offensive.
Lion-O is my least favorite character in this, and he feels to me like a character you're supposed to dislike, which I'm okay with because I don't know, whatever. I'm okay with that. But yeah, I would agree that Lion-O is just a ridiculous, dumb hero.
It's like, he was foolish, especially in the beginning of the original Thundercats. Which was understandable. There was a reason.
Yeah, he was a child.
He was a child in a man's body.
Right.
Or an adult cat man's body. Whatever.
We're not gonna do that.
But they if that's the case here, they didn't mention it.
So here's where I think it was a loving parody in my reading of it. So what I was shocked by, and maybe this didn't come across to Matt or Michelle, I wonder, actually, I'm really curious about what your feelings of the episode were, because why I liked it, I was like, oh my God, this is a parody of the cartoon I remember and loved as a kid. But it was a fun parody. So, for example, in the beginning intro, where they're explaining where they came from a planet that got destroyed and they crashed on the planet, and me, I am a ghost. That guy was a character in the show. He was their leader who had died and became a ghost, and it was this like Force Ghost character because they were trying to pull from all.
He sacrificed them. He sacrificed himself so that the rest of them could live.
Right. And I thought it was so my memories of Thundercats, just like almost every other show from the 80s, is that it was a little cartoony. Like even if it was Shakespeare, it's Shakespeare with cat people on an alien planet with mutants and a mummy villain. Like there's only so much. It's not like they made a chibi. I don't even know if this counts as chibi, but a chibi version of, or cartoony version of, like Schindler's List, where I'm like, why would you do that? That person died for ours. No, it was a stupid character who was like, even as a child, I saw that as, oh, that's kind of Obi-Wan. That's going to be Obi-Wan. He's the Force Ghost who kind of like leads Lion-O and gives him. So I'm not saying you're wrong in your opinion, but for me, it read exactly the way I think the intent was, which is, this is a cartoon I used to watch as a kid. I'm now an adult person who's making cartoons, and I'm going to make fun of something that I thought was cute back then, but it's a little ridiculous.
I think I was lost on like the very specifics. It's like about like specifically about the ghost things, but I was able to like pick out like sort of like riffing on like 80s cartoon concepts.
Yeah, the tropes.
So I was able to like the tropes and stuff. So like the very high level stuff I was able to recognize, and I think I actually appreciated it. I thought I actually enjoyed the episode after I saw it. I know like the humor is a little in your face.
Oh,
I'm
definitely.
not sure it's like, I don't know if like it's something I could watch on like constantly, but I did enjoy what I saw, and I recognized like, okay, there were some really funny parts in it that got me a good chuckle. I like the village of, I guess, almost like robot Care Bears
Robears, yeah.
that were like weirdly very happy no matter what, and they're like very, very willing to like help the heroes. So I was like, okay, that's is like it's funny but also kind of creepy, but like it's creepy in a kind of funny way.
And it's references to the original cartoon. There are Robears in there. They give candied fruit. I think
Candy fruit is what they
candy
call it.
fruit, and I think that's what they called it in the original series as well. There are lots of Easter eggs and callbacks to the original series. What I think is interesting, we got like kind of a split group here. Someone who used to love the show and it was new to the show was kind of meh on this, or aggressively disliked it, and someone who used to love the show was new to the show is kind of like, it's not bad, I could watch this. So I don't know what the hell the plan was, because I really don't know why a person who was, maybe Matt, like he said, he was aware of the tropes of the cartoon. But if you weren't a fan of the Thundercats, if I didn't have little kids like Thundercats as an adult, have little kids now, and no longer care about it, where I could sit back and be like, yeah, my kids are watching this stupid cartoon, and I'm laughing at all the references they don't get. Like, who's the audience to this? Me and Matt, apparently, barely. Hey, but you were just upset by it.
Yeah, I found it to be extremely disrespectful. There are ways you can do parody, and make it respectful of the source material. You can still poke fun at it. I'm not saying that Thundercats is sacrosanct and should be treated as gospel, but this was just it's dumb humor.
It was definitely dumb humor. Yeah, it was dumb. It was pretty dumb. But I also think it was a little poignant. Like, I liked the way they kept referencing the fact that Lino is a terrible leader. Because a lot of leaders in 80s cartoons were terrible leaders. They'd go off on adventures instead of, doing the smart thing. I don't know.
It was I was rooting for the bad guys.
I was too, but
the Thundercats are completely unlikable.
Yeah.
I keep in my mind comparing it to Teen Titans Go, which I am not a big fan of Teen Titans Go, but those are earnest characters.
Yeah.
They take the traits of the actual characters and amplify them to comedic levels, but at their heart, they're trying to do good. Mm-hmm. And they reflect what's best about the characters as well as their humorous sides. Mm-hmm. In Thundercats, it's just Lionel's dumb.
I don't know. I saw that. I'm listening to what you're saying, and I saw that in Roar, at least part 1. I saw, Lionel is passionate but reckless and young. I saw that. I saw Tigra was my favorite character, and he's put upon. I really enjoyed that. I saw him he wants to do right by the Thundercats, but he's kind of dismissed as an old like a nursemaid. Chitara was fast and the coolest one. I don't know. I saw a lot of that in there. I saw that when
they just made up a personality for Chitara.
I think maybe they had to. So I think what was curious is if I rewatch Thundercats, the original Thundercats, will I be like, my lord, how dare they insult this? Because honestly, there has yet to be an 80s cartoon I watch where I'm like, yeah, this held up to what I remember it being. So maybe that's it. Maybe yeah, I don't think
not even He-Man.
Yeah, even He-Man. I'm like, this is a little ridiculous. I love it.
Oh yeah,
but it's not like where I could say that this can't be made fun of because it's too good.
No, I'm just saying He-Man completely lived up to my memory of it. It's like,
did you have realistic?
This is exactly what I remember He-Man as.
Interesting. What was the last time you saw Thundercats, Pete?
Thundercats was a couple of years ago.
Maybe I could have watched. What if Thundercats is? What if it's like the Schindler's List of 80s action cartoons? Where we watch it, I'm like, my lord, what have they done? I would love that. I would love that.
Honestly, I would say that it's not Schindler's List, but I would compare it to Hamlet.
Yeah, I could believe that. But if you make a comedy version of Hamlet, I'm there. I'm 100% there. I am because it's just too it's too much. It's too dramatic. It's melodramatic.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm okay with them taking liberties.
It depends on how you do it, though.
Yeah. So I mean, your mileage may vary. We gave you no instructive criticism out there in listening land. You can't even be like, hey, if you like the original, you'll like or dislike this, or if you don't know, because we're
so split.
We're split. We're absolutely split on this. So watch it. It's free on Cartoon Network, and make up your own mind, and then send us a handwritten letter to our home addresses. Because we don't know what Twitter is. We don't even understand how it works. What is Twitter?
I will admonish Disney Plus.
Yeah.
Whatever you do not try to do this with Macbeth/Gargoyles.
Oh, yeah. All right. So there you go. You just hit the nail on the head.
Yeah.
If you did a cartoony, funny version of Disney's Gargoyles, I would throw this studio through your listening device right now somehow.
And I would tell you, if that's what you're
Yeah.
Gargoyles, I watched exactly the same way as Thundercats.
Okay.
Thundercats I took even a little bit more seriously
All
than
right.
Gargoyles.
I got to rewatch Thundercats.
And
Because
Gargoyles.
I don't remember Like I'm actually a little afraid of rewatching Gargoyles on Disney Plus because of that. I want to watch and be like, I thought this was so cool as a kid. Oh, what was I doing? But I was a little older too. I think I was in high school. Was I in? Yeah.
Yeah, I think you were.
Yeah. So, like, I don't know if I could take finding out that Gargoyles is garbage.
I actually wasn't that big into Gargoyles, so like I oddly enough, it was like totally during my time of cartoon watching, but I don't know. I guess I feel like I wasn't really that big into like the more like darker, serious cartoons back then. Like
man.
I mean, I watched Batman the animated series, but honestly, I liked the Superman one when that came
was
out.
good. Yeah, that was
like I preferred kind of like the more colorful Superman ones than the Batman ones. And
Michelle is hiding in her sweater. You're a bonkers girl? No, I'm sorry.
I love Bunkers.
I knew it! I was going to say, are you
No, I haven't watched Gargoyles.
Listen, you could be wrong about things, but no, I get it. There's different, like, it has to hit
No,
you at
I
the
said
right
I
time.
haven't watched it.
Yeah, I know.
Oh,
You have
okay.
it has to hit you at a certain time. If you don't, like, I don't expect,
I missed this wave.
I don't expect 50-year-olds to know what bonkers is. I definitely don't
I
exactly.
know what Bonkers is.
I'm sorry.
I've seen Bonkers.
God.
I've
Are
been
you 50?
forced into watching Bonkers.
I don't expect 50-year-olds to know what Gargoyles is. I don't expect 20-year-olds to know what Gargoyles is, and a lot of different in between. But like, I get it, Pete. If that were turned into this style, I would be upset.
I'm trying to think what would be like my version of that. I don't know. I need to think about because like a lot of the stuff I did was
Rebels.
I mean, I feel like has there been like really
There has been.
intentionally goofy Star Wars
I
stuff?
think it would be great. I think Goofy Star
A
Wars.
lot of the Lego stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, I love Lego Star Wars though.
Yeah,
I love like the parody like
But the
games and
Droid's
stuff.
Tale?
But keep
Droid
in mind,
Tales?
we're not talking that the difficulty here is that we're not talking about something in the Thundercats universe being cartoony. We're talking about the original story being cartoony. That's where it's different. Like, I think a cartoony version of anything Star Wars would be fun. I don't know. Yeah,
That's something I have to think about. I'll come back to you guys on that.
yeah. But yeah, so different flavors for lots of different people. Hopefully, you will watch it and enjoy it, or it gets canceled. I don't know what the hell.
Don't watch
here.
Thundercats Roar.
Or do.
Or do.
So
we can't make decisions.
But if you do, let us know what you think.
Yes,
Yes.
and do it by sending us a direct message on Tumblr. That's right, Tumblr. It's the thing you see quoted on a lot on Facebook. I do. I see a lot of Tumblr things.
A lot of Tumblr posts.
Yeah, a lot of Tumblr stuff. Anyways, last bit of news that happened. Wow, segueing to the last bit of news. We have very little to say about this, but breaking as we're recording, Kirk Douglas has passed away. He was 103
years old.
So long, amazing career, long life, amazing career. He has been in so many great movies. I don't even know where to begin. Spartacus is a family favorite.
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Nice, keep it genre. Anybody else have something specific? He was in various versions of the shootout in OK Corral. I can't remember what the name of his one was, but he's been in so many great westerns, so many great action movies. One of my earliest memories of going to the theaters with my parents was to see a movie called not Grumpy Old Men, but it was something like Old Days. Why did I decide this was the moment to remember what it was? It was a movie where he and Burt Lancaster were
Ties?
he and Burt thank you were bank robbers that had served a lot of jail time, and then they got released after like 20 years in jail. So they were older men by the time this movie came out in the 80s. And they'd both been released from jail, and there was like a cop who was like, I think, following them because he thought that they knew where the money was that they stashed from the last bank robbery, and they go back to like a life of crime. It was hilarious. Such a good movie. Yes, so Kirk Douglas, you will be missed. You left a great career and legacy and lots of movies for us to watch. I only wish that Kirk Douglas could have been in Knives Out, because that would have been amazing. Go watch Knives Out in theaters still, probably. Go watch it. And thank you. And I guess good night, everybody.
Good night.
Good night.
This has been a non-productive media presentation. Executive producer Frank Hablawi. This program and many others like it on the Non-Productive Network is distributed under a Creative Commons Attribution Non-Commercial No Derivatives license. Please share it, but ask before trying to change it or sell it. For more information, visit non-productive.com.